Alright, this video is the season notes and vocabulary for the reason for the seasons. Let's get started. Please fill in the appropriate blank as I go along through the discussion. The equator. Is an invisible line that runs around the middle of the Earth. This is its approximate location. You should all be familiar with the equator. We're going to use the abbreviation EQ to represent that. Latitude lines. Latitude. Measure distance from the equator. These lines run parallel to the equator and are labeled in degrees north and degrees south. So if here's your North Pole, here's your South Pole. These would be in degrees north, degrees south, and your latitude lines would look something like this. And your latitude lines south. Something like that. Longitude lines. Longitude. Run vertically from the North Pole to the South Pole. There are 360 equally spaced longitude lines around the globe, 360 degrees, a complete circle. The line that runs through Greenwich, England is labeled 0 degrees longitude and is called the prime meridian. Now on the globe we have here, we basically show the Western Hemisphere. So the line running through Greenwich would be approximately right here. That would be the prime meridian. Okay. Lines to the east of the prime meridian are labeled 1 to 179 degrees east, while lines west of the prime meridian are labeled 1 to 179 degrees west. The 180 degree line is called the international dateline. And that would be exactly opposite the prime meridian. Here once again is the equator. Here's the Earth's axis. And your longitude lines would look something like this. Now the Western Hemisphere would be longitude west. Eastern Hemisphere, longitude east. And the international dateline is basically where your day changes from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, and so on. The tilt of the Earth's axis causes the direct rays of the sun to reach the Earth at different intensities during various parts of the year. So, for instance, let's say your sun is over here, or our sun, and its rays are pointing in that direction, coming to the Earth. The Earth's tilt, based on the season, well, actually the tilt is always the same, but the Earth's tilt would be something like that. The axis itself runs about like that, and it's approximately, this angle right here would be about 23.5 degrees off vertical. Now, of course, if the sun, or if the earth, as the earth revolves around the sun, sometimes the sun is on the opposite side, right here. So now the earth is basically tilted away from the sun. And we'll talk about that more in just a second. All right. During summer, in the northern hemisphere, the northern end of the Earth's axial tilt near the North Pole is facing towards the sun. So, here's our Earth, there's our tilt, here's the axis, with the sun being over here. The most direct rays are hitting the Earth above the equator, so the northern hemisphere is getting the most direct rays, and then the southern hemisphere does not get as much direct sunlight, and they have the opposite season, which would be winter. The northernmost point of the sun's direct ray is named the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. And the Tropic of Cancer is about right here. In fact, if you were to measure, it's 23.5 degrees north latitude, and that corresponds to the 23.5 degrees tilt that we have on our axis. When it is winter in the northern hemisphere, the northern end of the Earth's axial tilt is facing away from the sun. So our Earth always tilts in the same direction. So we're going to tilt it also in the same direction still. Once again, here's our axis. Here's our equator. But now, since it's 6 months later, we have revolved around the sun, and now we are on the other side of the sun, and now the direct rays are hitting the southern hemisphere with their direct rays. So at the southernmost point of the sun's direct rays, the southernmost point is called the Tropic of Capricorn. And that would be, once again, at 23.5 degrees, but this time south latitude. South latitude. And once again, both tropics are 23.5 degrees from the equator. Cancer north, Capricorn south. This corresponds to the degree of tilt of the Earth's axis. And that's what we've been showing you. So here's my Earth. Here's my tilt, 23.5 degrees. If this were my axis, here's my equator. My two tropics are basically here, here, 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 1/2 degrees south. This would be the Tropic of Cancer. This is the Tropic of Capricorn. Four significant days occur during the year of Earth's orbit around the Sun. When the most direct rays of the Sun cross the equator, this is called the equinox, which is Latin for equal night. And this occurs tomorrow, actually, day after I'm doing this video, on September 23rd at 4:04 in the morning. That's the autumnal equinox. Okay. Now, the equinox happens twice a year. There's a spring and a fall one. The vernal equinox is the start of spring. That occurs sometime in March. And the autumnal equinox is the beginning of fall or autumn. And the term equinox, Latin for equal night, means you have approximately 12 hours of sunshine or daylight and about 12 hours of darkness or nighttime. And once again, those numbers are approximate. It's not exact. When the Sun reaches the Tropic of Cancer, its northernmost point, this is the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere. So that would be this depiction over here. Here's our axis. Here's our equator. The Sun's rays are hitting it. The most direct, it's hitting right on the line of the Tropic of Cancer. Okay. That is called the summer solstice. That is also the day that we have the most daylight hours all year long. When the Sun's direct rays are in the Tropic of Capricorn, this is the beginning of our winter in the northern hemisphere. Here's the axis, here's the equator, here's your Tropic of Capricorn. The Sun's rays are hitting it most directly. This is the beginning of winter and is called the winter solstice. Okay. If you have any questions about any of this, please see me during stream or talk to me after class, and we can get all this cleared up for you. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.